Hello everyone, my name is Mulumalo Gwaza and I am your host for the Kingdom Campus. I'm very excited to be here with you today and thank you for tuning in. The last episode that we did was Is Respect Given or Earned? If you haven't watched that topic or that episode rather, I would advise you to go and watch it because it is very insightful and very helpful. It talks about respect and that is discipline. And today, like I've said, we have another interesting topic. And the topic is what does perfect love looks like. Oftentimes we say God is love and we also want to be loved and we also want to give love, but we don't know what does perfect love looks like for many people. But some people fumble good relationships or friendships because they don't know or recognize a loving friend or a loving partner. And today we are going to look at how God expects us to love other people and what does perfect love looks like according to him. That is why we are going to look at many scriptures that talks about love. The first one, it is 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 14. So I wrote all the scriptures in my journal and I'm going to read them to you as we discuss them. So we're going to talk about 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 14. It says, let all that you do be done in love. You see, in this verse, God is teaching us that if you're doing something, you should do it in love. Especially if you're doing something for someone. You get it? So if you're at work, whatever that you're doing, do it with love. If you're cooking for your family or for yourself or for people, like people in the streets or vulnerable people, do it with love. Cook with love. Whatever that you do it with love. We said God is love and we ought to reflect God in everything that we do. Everything that we touch, we ought to reflect God. Have you noticed that things that we hate, we don't excel in them? Things that we just don't like doing, things that we don't have the desire doing, things that we are bored when we do, we often fail at them. It is as if though this hate hinders our growth, our learning ability, and we just fail. We don't excel in them. I'm talking about that math that we used to hate in high school. When it was a math period, you wish that it could be time up already. 10 minutes in there, you wish, Lord, please let it be time up. Because we gotta go to the next subject. And oftentimes when you're going to write that exam, math exam, you find that we fail. Why? Because we were not learning with love. We don't love math. So it is as if though whatever that we hate, that hate hinders our development or our learning. So God encourages us to do things with love. When you're going to do something for someone, do it with love. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 4 to 7. It says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. So let us look at this verse or scripture. It says, love is patient and kind. You know, this is a key ingredient in love. You cannot love someone properly if you don't have patience and if you're not kind towards them. And the patient love it allows us to give people room for growth without suffocating them. It enables us to, or gives us the chance to love the process of development in people, and gives us the chance to understand, because now we are witnessing the process, and also helps us to be reasonable. The patient love helps us love people that are flawed as though they were flawless, as though they were perfect, because at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. Everyone has their own weaknesses or where they are lacking. I remember when I was like 16 years old, somewhere there, we were living with my cousin, and my cousin is a messy person. He's so messy, and we will always clean up after him. Whenever he cooks, everywhere, on the sink, on the tables, everywhere, the whole kitchen will be messy, to the point where sometimes we will be just disgusted and we didn't want to eat his food, because it was just like, how did you prepare this food? It is so messy in here. So we will just be angry sometimes, and we will tell him to be clean. And what we did, because we were not patient with him, what we didn't realize is that provoked him in some kind of way, because that was not loving. We expected him to change, to get what we were saying. We were expecting him to learn to be clean in one conversation, in 1 minute. After that conversation, we expected him to be clean, but this person was like messy for the rest of his life. He was even 3 years older than me. If I was like 14, he was 3 years older than me. You get? And we expected that from him. That was impossible. And we suffocated him. He never got a chance to learn how to be clean, because of the approach that we used to him. So we have to be patient, and we also have to help people in what they are growing. Like I said, the patient love gives us a chance to love the process, the process of the development, right? So that gives us that chance. And I'm thinking about married people. Oftentimes even divorces comes from this. People are not patient with one another. Imagine if you have a patient partner. Sometimes you are both from different families, raised in different ways, and you expect people to learn what you want them to learn in one conversation. That is not fair. It is just not fair. Because guess what? You are also not perfect, and there's where you are lacking. Should they expect you to learn in that area with one conversation too? You see? We have to be patient with one another. This is the root of arguments and hatred in marriages, because our love is not patient. Love is humble. Love is considerate. It is gentle, and it is friendly. This is the kind love. I said we have to be kind. The Bible said love is patient and love is kind, right? So we have to be patient and we have to be kind. And the kind love, it is a generous one, it is a considerate one, and it is also the friendly one. The friendly one, right? And when you have the kind love, it allows you to serve the unsavable, or it allows you to move with grace, especially towards people who have wronged you. Imagine if you are married. Let us go to people who are married again. Imagine if you're married. Obviously, you're going to wrong one another. Nobody is perfect. But when you have a kind love, when you have a friendly love, it is going to give you that grace, that ability to move with grace even though you are wronged. This is the kind love. We said love, it is not envy, or it does not envy or boast. Love is not jealous. Love, it is not jealous. Let this one sink in. Love, it is not jealous. I remember a story of two people. I was reading this on social media, and two girls were friends from high school, and they had children. They were not married, but they had children. Each had a child, and the other one, the baby daddy was absent, and the other one, the baby daddy was present. The one whose baby daddy was absent was jealous of her friend because she thought, okay, I see that your baby daddy is present. He buys his child this and that, and he takes care of a child. But mine, I am struggling. I'm alone. I know you help me sometimes, but I can't help but feel jealous. I am jealous. That is not love. Love knows how to be happy for other people's successes, achievements, even though you haven't succeeded yet. Love knows how to help people reach their dreams and goals, even though you haven't reached yours first yet. I mean, that is love. Clap for others. Your time is coming. Love is not boastful, right? Love, it is not boastful. It helps us not to rub our success in people's faces. It helps us also not to know that we are not better than other people just because we have achieved or we have reached where they haven't reached yet. Love, it is not boastful. Sometimes the friendships that we are in, people, we say a family, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends, and you have to choose friends wisely and intentionally. Some of your friends, guys, when you're struggling, they won't help you. Even though they have the ability to help you, they won't help you. But when there's a party going on somewhere and you're like, I don't have money, I'm not going to go there, or I can't afford to go there with other friends because I can't afford, I don't have money, they will pay for you. Don't worry, I will pay for you so that we can go. You will go and drink alcohol and party, and it will be nice. But when you are at home and you don't have food, they can't buy you grocery, though they can afford to buy you grocery. But they will give you 1,000 so that you can go to the club together. So that when people ask, and they will tell that, no, I'm the one, she didn't have money, but I'm the one who sponsored this. Points. So that they feel better than you. That is not love. That is not love at all. That is not love at all. Love helps. It is not boastful. If someone knows how to help you in your wants, to help you with your wants, but not with your needs, that person does not love you. Or that is not the love, the love that you should look for as a person. Love, it is not boastful. It lifts, it uplifts, it encourages, it motivates, it cheers. That is love. It does not insist on its own way. Love is understanding. It is gentle. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoings, but rejoices with the truth. Love helps us not to hurt others. When you love people, you don't hurt them, intentionally at least. So love helps us not to hurt people, but it is patient. I'm going to repeat this all the time. Love is patient. It is kind, so that it sinks in. It helps us not to provoke other people's anger. You don't want to anger people because you love them. I believe if we had all of us here on earth, if we had this perfect kind of love, the world will be better. The world will be more peaceful, because love is peaceful. It does not hate. The world will be a better place, but it starts with you. You in your circle, and people can copy from you. Love does not lie. Love does not lie. It goes hand in hand with the truth. It does not lie. Love is, I want you to do better, so I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to have to know the truth. Love will tell you the truth in a kind way, in a loving way, so that you can be better. There are these people that I don't like so much. I'm talking about those people who like to say, I tell the truth as it is. Oftentimes, those are the rude people. Rude people will say, I tell the truth as it is. But what is your intention behind telling me the truth, especially this way? Your packaging, it is not what you have said. It is always how you say it. The way you say it provokes people's anger. That is not love. The way you say it, even the way God talks to us, He talks to us in a loving way. So even as we are telling people the truth, we have to tell them in a loving way, in a correcting way, because if you provoke anger in them, they're not going to listen to you, but they're going to be defensive. What's the point of delivering that truth? So sometimes we have to use wisdom and to be intentional in loving people, or even in telling people the truth. That is love. It tells you the truth in a loving way. Love bears all things, believes all things, and hopes all things, endures all things. Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. It says, and now these three remains, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of this is love. Without love, hope and faith are gone. But in love, there is hope and there is faith. You cannot have faith and hope for things that you don't love, but you can always have faith and hope for things that you love. You see, love keeps the candle of hope and faith burning. Let us look at John chapter 15, verse 13. It says, greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. Love is sacrificial. It puts its life down for others, and is considerate. It is you before me. Let us look at John chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. Love is generous. It gives. And when we're talking about generous, when I say it gives, we're not talking about only money. But love can give time. It can give help. It can give good counsel. Love gives. It is generous. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 2, it says, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. Love is endurance. It endures. It is not prideful, but it is humble. It is not forced or impatient, but it is gentle and it is patient. Like I said, you cannot love a person. You cannot force a person into change, but you can always love them into change. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 5 says, above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Love is sincere and it is intentional, and it overlooks faults. 1 John chapter 4 verse 18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, for fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. Love brings freedom and it brings courage. It brings freedom. It frees you from fear. 1 John chapter 4 verse 19 says, we love because he first loved us. So love has no terms and conditions. It knows how to love first. It loves the unlovable, because remember, Jesus Christ loved us before we loved him, right? This is what the verse is talking about. He laid down his life before we loved him. He died for the same people who were mocking him, who were killing him, right? Who didn't love him. He loved them first and showed them what love is. That is why we know the perfect kind of love, because we saw him love us before we loved him. Colossians chapter 3 verse 14 says, and over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Love unites people together in harmony. It brings that sense of unity, not division. Division is not of God, and it is not love. Let us look at Romans chapter 13 verse 10. It says, love does no harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Love is considerate. Love is selfless, and it does no harm to others. You will not harm a person that you love. 1 John chapter 3 verse 16 to 18 says, this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and with the truth. Love is selfless. It lays down its life for others, right? And love is not words, it is action. So when someone's just saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and the actions, what are the actions saying? Are the actions matching what the person is saying? Love is actions. Love is generous. It gives, it helps. Matthew chapter 6 verse 24, it says, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Love is loyal, and it seeks commitment. It is intentional. Love is a decision. And the last verse that we are going to look is 1 John chapter 4 verse 7 to 8. It says, beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. So as Christians, God, Jesus Christ, commands us to love one another. This is how they will know us, that we are his followers. We ought to love one another because he is love. And remember, love, the perfect love starts with a decision and intention, right? It is selfless, it is generous, it is considerate, it is patient, it is kind, it is endurance, it is sincere, it overlooks faults, it is truthful, it is loyal, committed, does no harm to others, loves first, brings freedom, encourages, it is humble, it is gentle, it lays down life for others, it has hope and faith, it is not irritable or resentful, and it does not boast and envy. This is the perfect kind of love. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining me as we are discussing what perfect love is, and I hope that you have learned something. So in the relationships, this is the love that you should expect and that you should give. I'm talking about in marriages. This is the love that you should have and give to your spouse. In friendships, everywhere, this is how you love people, and this is the love that you should also receive in return. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, and please subscribe, like, and share with a friend. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.